Exodus chapter 17.
All the congregation of the children of Israel set out on their journey from the wilderness of Sin, according to the commandment of the Lord, and camped in Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people contended with Moses and said, "Give us water, that we may drink." So Moses said to them, "Why do you contend with me? Why do you tempt the Lord?" And the people thirsted there for water. And the people complained against Moses and said, "Why is it you have brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and livestock with thirst?" So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, "What shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." And the Lord said to Moses, "Go on before the people, and take with you some of the elders of Israel. Also take in your hand your rod with which you struck the river. Go, behold, I will stand before you there on the rock in Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, that the people may drink." And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. So he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the contention of the children of Israel, because they contended, "Is the Lord among us or not?" Now Amalek came and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said to Joshua, "Choose us some men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand." So Joshua did as Moses said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And so it was, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands became heavy. So they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. And Aaron and Hur supported his hands, one on one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. So Joshua defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this for a memorial in the book, and recount it in the hearing of Joshua, will utterly blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven." Moses built an altar and called his name, "No, this is my banner." For he said, "Because the Lord has sworn, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation." And chapter 18. And Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard all of the God had sent for Israel, his people, Israel out of Egypt. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back with her 2 sons, of whom the name of one was Gershom, for he said, "I've been a stranger in a foreign land." And the name he gave, he said, "The God of my father was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh." And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife to Moses in the wilderness, where he was encamped at the mountain of God. Now I said to Moses, "I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you with your wife and your 2 sons with her." So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, bowed down and kissed him. And they asked each other about their well-being, and they went into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, the hardship they had come, and how the Lord had delivered them. Then Jethro rejoiced all the good which the Lord had done for Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, "Blessed be the Lord, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of the Pharaoh, and who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know the Lord is greater than all the gods, for in the very things in which they behaved proudly, he was above them." Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and other sacrifices to offer to God. And Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. So it was the next day that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood before Moses from morning until evening. So when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did for the people, he said, What is this thing you are doing before the people? Why do you alone sit, and all the people stand before you from morning until evening? Said to his father-in-law, because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have difficulty, they come to me, and I judge between one and another, and my God and his slaves. So Moses' father-in-law said to him, the thing that you do is not good. Both you and these people who are with you will surely wear themselves out.
But this thing is too much for you.
You are not able to perform it by yourself. Listen now to my voice. I will give you counsel, that God will be with you. Stand before God for the people, so that you may bring the difficulties to God, and you shall teach them the statutes and laws, and show them the way in which you must the work you must do. Moreover, you shall select from all the people in the land, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let them judge the people at all times, that it will be that every great matter they shall bring to you, but every small matter they themselves shall judge. So it will be easier for you, for they will bear the burden with you. If you do this thing, and God so commands you, then you will be able to endure, and these people will also be good. So Moses heeded the voice of his father-in-law, did all that he said. Then Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, rulers of tens. So they judged the people at all times. The hard cases they brought to Moses, but they judged every small case themselves. Then Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way to his own land.
Exodus chapter 19.
In the third month, after the children of Israel had gone out of the land of Egypt, on the same day they came to the wilderness of Sinai, where they departed from Rephidim, come to the wilderness of Sinai, and camped in the wilderness. So Israel camped there before the mountain. And Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain, saying, Thus you shall say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I bore you unequals when brought to myself. Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people. For all the earth is mine, and you shall be to me a kingdom of a priest and a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel. So Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before them all these words which the Lord commanded him. Then all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord has spoken we will do. So Moses brought back the words of the people to the Lord, and the Lord said to Moses, Behold, I come to you in the thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you, and believe you forever. So Moses told the words of the people to the Lord. Then the Lord said to Moses, Go to the people, and consecrate them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and let them be ready for the third day. For 1/3 day the Lord will come down upon Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. You shall set bounds for the people and all around, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that you do not go up to the mountains, or touch its base. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. Not a hand shall touch him, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot with an arrow. Whether man or beast, he shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, they shall come near the mountain. So Moses went down from the mountain to the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said to the people, Be ready for the third day. Do not come near your wives. Then it came to pass on the third day, in the morning, that there were thunderings and lightnings, and a thick cloud on the mountain. And the sound of the trumpet was very loud, so that all the people who were in the camp trembled. And Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet with God. And they stood at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was completely in smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in its fire. Its smoke ascended like the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain quaked greatly. And when the blast of the trumpet sounded long and became louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him by voice. Then the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mountain. And the Lord called Moses to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. And the Lord said to Moses, "Go down and warn the people, lest they break through the gates at the Lord, and many of them perish. Let the priests who come near the Lord consecrate themselves, lest the Lord break out against them." But Moses said to the Lord, "The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you warned us, saying, 'Set bounds around the mountain and consecrate it.'" Then the Lord said to him, "Away, get down and let them come, and you are around with you. But do not let the priests and the people break through to come up to the Lord, lest he break out against them." So Moses went up to the people and spoke to them.
Exodus chapter 20. And God
Spoke all these words, saying, "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourselves a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is earth beneath, or that is the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third, fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day of the Lord your God. In it you shall not do work, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Now all the people witnessed the thunderings, the lightning flashes, the sound of the trumpet, the mountain smoking, and when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. Then they said to Moses, "You speak with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die." And Moses said to the people, "Do not fear, for God has come to test you, and that his fear may be before you, and you may not sin." So the people stood afar off, but Moses drew near the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, you have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make anything to do with me, gods of silver or gods of gold. You shall not make for yourselves an altar of earth. You shall make for me. You shall sacrifice on it your burnt offerings, peace offerings, and your sheep and your oxen. In every place where I record my name, I will come to you and I will bless you. And if you make me a stone, you shall not build it with stone. For if you use your tool on it, you have profaned it. Nor shall you go up by steps to my altar. Nakedness may not be exposed on it."
Exodus chapter 21. Now
These are judgments which you shall see before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If the master has given him a wife, and she is born with sons and daughters. The wife and her children shall be your master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with unarm, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she shall not go out as a male slave too. If she does not please her master, who betrothed her to himself, he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her for foreign people, since they dealt peaceably with her. And if he has betrothed her his son, he shall deal with her according to the custom of daughters. If he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, her marriage rights. And if he does not do this for her, then she shall go out free without paying money. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but God delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. But if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you shall take him from my altar, that he may die. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in hand, shall be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. If men contend with each other, and one strikes the other with a stone or his fist, then he does not die, but is confined to his death.
If he rises again and walks about outside with his staff,
then he who struck him shall be acquitted. He shall only pay for the loss of his time, and shall provide for him to be thoroughly healed. And if a man beats his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive with day truth, he shall not be punished,
for he is his property.
If men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth prematurely, and no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then he shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. If a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his female servant, he shall let him go free for the sake of his tooth. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. But if the ox tended to thirst with its horn, its tongue,
and it has been made known to his owner,
and he is not kept confined, so that he is killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner also shall be put to death. If there is imposed on him a sum of money, then he shall pay to redeem his life what is imposed on him.
Whether it has borne a son or borne a daughter,
according to this judgment shall be done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he shall give to their master
30 shekels of silver, and the ox
shall be stoned. And if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give money to their owner, but the dead animal shall be his. If one man's ox hurts another's so that it dies, then he shall sell the live ox and divide the money from it.
And the dead ox they shall also divide. Or if it was known that the ox tended to thirst in time past,
and his owner has not kept it confined, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead animal shall be his own. Exodus chapter 22. If a man steals an ox or sheep, and slaughters it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. If the thief is found breaking in, and he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun rises on him, there shall be guilt for his bloodshed. He shall make full restitution. If it is not dead, then it shall be sold for his theft. If the theft is certainly found alive in his hand, whether it is an ox or a donkey or a sheep, he should restore double. If a man causes a field or a vineyard to beget grapes, and feeds among the field, he shall make restitution for the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. If fire breaks out, then catches in dormant, so that standing grain, he who will fire shall surely make restitution. If a man delivers to his neighbor money or articles to keep, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges to see whether he has put his hand into the neighbor's goods. For any kind of trespass, whether it concerns an ox, donkey, a sheep, or clothing, or for any kind of lost thing which another claims to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whomever the judges condemn shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man delivers to his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or animal to keep, and he dies, is hurt, or driven away, nor seen it, then the ox of the shall be between them both, and he is not set in the neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept that he shall not make it good. But if, in fact, it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to the owner of it. If it is torn pieces by this, then he shall bring it as evidence.
And he shall not make good what was torn.
And if a man borrows anything from his neighbor, and it becomes injured or dies, the owner of it not being with it, he shall surely make it good. If his owner was with it, he shall not make it good. If it was hired, it came for its hire. If a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed, and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the bride price of virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. Whoever lies with an animal shall surely be put to death. He who sacrifices to any god except to the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You shall not neither mistreat a stranger, nor oppress him, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry at all to me, surely hear their cry. And my wrath will become hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, you shall not be like money.
You shall not charge him interest.
If you ever take your neighbor's garment as a pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his own covering. It is his garment for his skin. What will he sleep in? And it will be that in Christ to me I will hear, for I am gracious. You shall not revile God, nor curse the ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe produce in your juices. The firstborn of your sons you should give to me. Likewise you shall do with your oxen and your sheep. It shall be with its mother 7 days. On the 8th day you shall give it to me. And you shall be holy men to me. You shall not eat meat torn by beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs. Exodus chapter 23. You shall not circulate the false report. Do not put your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You shall not follow a crowd to do evil, nor shall you testify in disputes so as to turn aside after many to pervert justice. You shall not show partiality to a poor man in his dispute. Give me any money, donkey, astray. You shall surely bring it back to him again. If you see the donkey of the one who hates you lying under its burden, and you would refrain from helping him, you shall surely help him with it. You shall not pervert the judgment of your people in this dispute. Keep yourself far from a false matter. Do not kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not justify the wicked. And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the discerning and perverts the words of the righteous. So you shall not oppress a stranger. For you know the heart of a stranger, because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its produce. But the 7th year you shall let it rest, and life follow, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave, the beasts of the field may eat. In like manner you shall do with your vineyard and your olive grove. 6 days you shall do your work, and the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the son of your male servant and the stranger may be refreshed. I have said to you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, nor let be heard from your mouth. 3 times you shall keep a feast to me in the year. You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded you, at the time appointed in the month of Abib, for it came out of Egypt. None shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of your labors which you have sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you have gathered in the fruit of your labors for the field. 3 times in a year all your maize shall appear before the Lord God. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with your leavened bread, nor shall the fat of my sacrifice remain unto morning. The first of the first fruits of the land you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into a place which I may prepare. Beware of him, obey his voice. Do not provoke him, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if you indeed obey my voice, and do all that I have spoken, then I will be an enemy to your enemies, and an adversary to adversaries. For my angel will go before you, and bring you into the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do according to their words, but you shall utterly overthrow them, and completely break down their sacred pillars. So you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. No one shall suffer miscarriage or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my field before you. I will cause confusion among all the people to whom you come, and will make all the enemies turn their backs to you. And I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field become numerous for you. Little by little, I will drive them out from before you, until you have increased, and you inherit the land. And I will set your bounds from the Red Sea to the sea, Philistine, and from desert to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will truly be snare to you.
Exodus chapter
24.
Now he
Said to Moses, come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70
of the elders of Israel,
Israel, in the worshipful Baal.
and Moses alone shall come near the Lord.
But they shall not come near, nor shall the people go up with him. So Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, that all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and he rose early in the morning to build an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Then he sent young men of the children of Israel, who offered burnt offerings, sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, "This is the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you according to all these words." Then Moses went up, and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, the 70 elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel. And there was under his feet, as it were paved work of sapphire stone, and it was like the very heavens in its clarity. But on the nobles of the children of Israel he did not lay his hand, so they saw God, and they ate and drank. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and be there, and I will give you tablets of stone, and the law and commandments which I've written, that you may teach them." So Moses arose with his sister Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. And he said to the elders, "Wait here for us until we come back to you. Indeed, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man has difficulty, let him go to them." Then Moses went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain. Now the glory of the Lord rested on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the 7th day he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. The sight of the glory of the Lord was like a consuming fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel. So Moses went into the midst of the cloud, and went up into the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights.
Exodus chapter 25. Then the Lord spoke to Moses,
saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. From anyone who gives it willingly with his heart, you shall take my offering. And this is the offering which you shall take from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet red, fine linen, and goat's hair, ram skins dyed red, badger's skin, and acacia wood, oil for the light, and spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate.
and let them make me a sanctuary,
That I may dwell among them, according to all that I show you, that is, the pattern of the tabernacle, the pattern of its furnishing,
just as
you shall make it. And they shall make an ark of acacia wood. 2.5 cubits shall be its length, 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. And you shall overlay with a pure gold, inside and out. You shall overlay,
and shall make on it a molding of
gold all around.
You shall
Cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in its 4 corners. 2 rings shall be on one side, and 2 rings on the other side. And you shall make poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. You shall put their
poles into the rings on the sides of the ark,
that the ark may be carried by them. The poles shall be in the rings of the ark,
they
shall not be taken from him. And you shall not
into the ark the testimony
which I give you. You shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits shall be its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold. Of a hammered wood you shall make them at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Make 1 cherub at one end, and the other cherub at the other end. You shall make the cherubim at the 2 ends of it of one piece with the mercy seat. And the cherubim shall stretch them with its wings, covering the mercy seat with its wings, and they shall face one another. The faces of the cherubim shall be toward the mercy seat. You shall put the mercy seat on top of the ark, and in the ark you shall put the testimony that I will give you. And there I will make you. I will speak with you from among the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim, the ark, the testimony, about everything which I will give you in commandment to the children of Israel. You shall also make a table of acacia wood. 2 cubits shall be its length, 1 cubit with its width,
and 1.5 cubits its height.
And you shall overlay it with pure gold, and make a molding of gold all around. You shall make for it the frame of the handbreadth all around. And you shall make a gold molding for the frame all around. And you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on 4 corners that are at its 4 legs.
The rings shall be close to the
frame, as holders for the poles to the bare table.
And
You shall make the poles of the acacia wood, and overlay them with gold.
that the table may be carried with them.
You shall make its dishes, its pans, pitchers, and its bowls for pouring. You shall make them of pure gold, and you shall set the showbread on the table before me always. You shall also make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand shall be of a hammered work. Its shaft, its branches, its bowls, its ornamental knobs, and flowers shall be of one piece. And 6 branches shall come out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side. 3 bowls shall be made like almond blossoms on one branch, with an ornamental knob on the flower, and 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on the other branch, with an ornamental knob on the flower. And so for the 6 branches that come out of the lampstand. On the lampstand itself, 4 bowls shall be made like almond blossoms, each with ornamental knob and flower, and there shall be a knob under the first 2 branches of the same, a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that extend from the lampstand. Their knobs and their branches shall be of one piece. All of it shall be one hammered piece of pure gold. You shall make 7 lamps for it, and you shall arrange its lamps so they give light in front of it, and its weight trimmers and their trays shall be of pure gold. It shall be made of the talent of the pure gold, with all its utensils,
and see to it that you make them according to the pattern
which will show you on the mount.
Exodus chapter 26.
Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine woven linen, and blue, purple, and scarlet thread, with artistic designs of cherubim you shall weave them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have the same measurements. 5 of the curtains shall be coupled to one another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And you shall make ropes of blue yarn on the edge of the curtain, on the salvage of the set.
And likewise,
You shall do on the other
of the
edge.
other curtain of the second set.
50 loops you shall make in the one curtain, and 50 loops you shall make on the edge of the curtain that is on one of the second set,
That the loops
may be clasped to one another. And you shall make 50 clasps of gold, and couple the curtains together with clasps,
so
so
that it may
it
be
may
one
be one tabernacle. You shall also make curtains of goat's hair to be a tent over the tabernacle. You shall make 11 curtains, the length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. And the 11 curtains
shall
you
all
shall
have the same measurements.
measurements
And you shall couple 5 curtains by
by
themselves,
themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. And you shall double over the 6th curtain at the forefront of the tent. You shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain, the second set. And you shall make 50 bronze clasps, put the clasps into loops, and couple the tent together, that it may be one. The remnant that remains of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over at the back of the tabernacle. Then a cubit on one side, and a cubit on the other side, of what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent, shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle, on this side and on this side, to cover it. You shall also make a covering of ram skins dyed red for the tent, and a covering of badger skins above them. And for the tabernacle, you shall make the boards of acacia wood, standing upright. 10 cubits shall be the length of the board, and a cubit and a half shall be the width of each board. 2 10 ones
shall be in each board for
for
binding
binding one to one another. Thus you shall make for the boards of the tabernacle. And you shall make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side. You shall make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards of the 2 tenors. And for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, there shall be 20 boards, and 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards, for the far side of the tabernacle. As for it, you shall make 6 boards, and you shall also make 2 boards for the 2 back corners of the tabernacle. They shall be coupled together at the bottom. They shall be coupled together at the top on the one ring by one ring. Thus it shall be for both of them.
They shall be for the two corners.
So there shall be 8 boards with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And you shall make bars of acacia with 5 for boards on one side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle. For the far side westward, the middle part shall pass through the midst of the boards from the end to the end. You shall overlay the boards with gold, make the rings of gold and holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall rise the tabernacle according to its pattern, which you were shown in the mountain. You shall make a veil woven of blue, purple, and scarlet red, and fine woven linen. It shall be woven with an artistic design of cherubim. You shall hang it upon 4 pillars of acacia wood, overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be gold, upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the clasp. And you shall bring the ark of the testimony there, the veil. The veil shall be a divider for you between the holy place and the most holy. You shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy. You shall set the table outside the veil, and the lampstand across from the table against the tabernacle toward the south. And you shall put the table on the north side. You shall make a screen for the door of the tabernacle, woven of blue, purple, and scarlet red, and fine woven linen made by the river. You shall make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. Their hooks shall be gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them.
Exodus chapter 27. You shall
Make an altar of the acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of 1 piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. Also you shall make its pans to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall make it great for it, a network of bronze, and on the network you shall make 4 bronze rings and its 4 corners. You shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, and the network may be made with the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar's bearing. You shall make it hollow with boards, as it was shown you on the mountain, so shall you make it. You shall also make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side there shall be hangings for the court made of fine woven linen, 100 cubits for one side, and its 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets shall be bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be silver. Likewise, along the length of the north side there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, with its 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands of silver. And along the width of the court, the west side shall be a hanging of 50 cubits, with their 10 pillars, their 10 sockets. The width of the court side shall be 50 cubits. The hanging on the one side of the chip shall be 15 cubits, with their 30 pillars and 3 sockets. And on the other side shall be 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen 20 cubits long, woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen, made by weaver. It shall have 4 pillars and 4 sockets. All the pillars around the court shall have the bands of silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of bronze. The length of the cord shall be 100 cubits, the width 50 thread, and the height 5 cubits, made of fine woven linen, and its spines of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle, for all its service, all its paths, and all the paths of the court, shall be of bronze. And you shall command the children of Israel that they bring you pure oil of pressed olives for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually. In the tabernacle of the meeting, outside the veil, which is before the testimony, tend it from evening until morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever to their generations, on behalf of the children of Israel.
Exodus chapter 28. Now take
Aaron your brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister to me as priests. Aaron and Aaron's sons, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and for beauty. So you shall speak to all who are gifted artisans, a mind filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, and they may minister to him as priest. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a skillfully woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. So they shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother and his sons, that they may minister to me as priests. They shall take the gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine linen, and they shall make the ephod of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen, artistically worked. It shall have 2 shoulder straps joined to its 2 edges, so they shall be joined together. And the intricately woven band of the ephod, which is on it, shall be of the same workmanship, made of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen. Then you shall take 2 onyx stones, and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on the one stone, 6 names on the other stone, in order of their birth, with the work of an engraving stone, like the engravings of a signet. You shall engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel. You shall set them in settings of gold, and you shall put the 2 stones on the shoulders of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel. So Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders as a memorial. You shall also make settings of gold, and you shall make 2 chains of a pure gold, like braided cords, and fasten the braided chains to the settings. You shall make the breastplate of judgment, artistically woven according to the workmanship of the ephod. You shall make it of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen. You shall make it. It shall be doubled into a square. A span shall be its length, and a span shall be its width. And you shall put settings of stones in it, 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and an emerald. This shall be the first row. The second row shall be a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, a jasmine, agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold studs, and the stones shall have the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of the signet, each one with its own name. They shall be according to 12 tribes. You shall make chains for the breastplate at the end, like braided cords of pure gold. And you shall make 2 rings of gold for the breastplate, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. Then you shall put the 2 braided chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the braided chains you shall fasten to the settings, and put them on the shoulder straps of the ephod in the front. You shall make 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, on the edge of it, which is on the inner side of the ephod. And 2 other rings of gold you shall make, put them on the 2 shoulder straps, underneath the ephod toward its front, right at the seam above the perfectly woven ephod. They shall bind the breastplate by means to the rings of the ephod, using a blue cord, so that it is above the intricately woven band of the ephod, and so the breastplate does not come loose from the ephod. So Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Israel on the breastplate of judgment always heard, when he goes into the holy place, as a memorial before the Lord continually. And you shall put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and and the
Thummim,
Thummim
and they shall
shall
be
be
over Aaron's heart when he goes in
in
before the Lord.
So Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel
over his heart
before the Lord continually. You shall make the robe of the ephod all of blue. There shall be an opening on his head in the middle of it. It shall have a woven binding all around its opening, like the opening in a coat of mail, so that it does not tear. And upon his hem you shall make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet all around its hem, bells of gold between them all around. A golden bell and a pomegranate, and a golden bell and a pomegranate
upon the hem of the
the
robe
robe all around. And it shall be upon Aaron when he ministers, and its sound will be heard when he goes into the holy place before the Lord, and when he comes out, that he may not die. You shall also make a plate of pure gold, and engrave on it, like the engraving of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And you shall put it on the blue cord, that it may be on the turban. It shall be on the front of the turban, so it shall be on Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel hallow in all holy gifts. And it shall always be on his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. You shall skillfully weave the tuning of the fine linen thread. You shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the sash of woven work. For Aaron's sons you shall make tunics, and you shall make sashes for them, and you shall make caps for them, for glory and beauty. So you shall put them on Aaron your brother and on his sons with him. You shall anoint them, consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister to me as priests. And you shall make for them linen trousers to cover their nakedness. They shall reach from the waist to the thighs. They shall be on Aaron and on his sons when they come into the tabernacle meeting, or when they come in the altar to minister in the holy place, that they do not inquire and die. It shall be a statute forever to him, and his descendants of Ephraim.
Exodus chapter 29. And
This is what you shall do to them, to hallow them as ministering to me as a priest. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, unleaven the cakes with mixed oil, and unleaven the wafers anointed with oil. You shall make them with flour. You shall put them in 1 basket, and bring them in the basket, with the bull and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his sons you shall bring to the door of the tabernacle meeting, and you shall wash them with water. Then you shall take their garments, put the tunic on Aaron, and the robe of the ephod, and the breastplate, and braid him in the intricate woven band of the ephod. You shall put the turban of his head, and put the holy crown on the turban. And you shall take the anointing oil, pour it on his head, and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons and put tunics on them, and you shall gird with them a sash, Aaron and his sons, and put the hats on them. The priest of it shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. So you shall consecrate Aaron and his sons. You shall also have the bull brought before a tabernacle meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the bull. Then you shall kill the bull before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle meeting. You shall take some of the blood of the bull, and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the base of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, the fat of the dog attached to the river, and 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and burn them on the altar. With the flesh of the bull, with the skin and with its offal, you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall kill the ram, and you shall take its blood, and sprinkle it all around on the altar. Then you shall cut the ram in pieces, wash its entrails and its legs, and put them in its pieces and on its head. And you shall burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. You shall also take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the ram. Then you shall kill the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the tip of the right ear of the lamb, and on the tip of the right ear of his sons, on the thumb of their right hand, and on the tippy toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood all around on the altar. And you shall take some of the blood that is on the altar, and some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and on his garments, on his sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he and his garments shall be hallowed, and his sons' garments with him. Also you shall take the fat of the ram, the fat tail, and the fat covers its entrails, the fatty lobe attached to the liver, and 2 kidneys, and the fat on them, the right thigh, for it is the ram of consecration, 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake made with oil, and 1 wafer of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And you shall put all these in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and you shall wave them as a wave offering before the Lord. You shall receive them back from their hands, and burn them on the altar as burnt offering, as a sweet aroma before the Lord. It is an offering made by fire to the Lord. Then you shall take the breast of the ram of the Aaron's consecration, and wave it as a wave offering before the Lord. And it shall be your portion. And from the ram of the consecration, you shall consecrate the breast of the wave offering which is waved, and thigh of the peace offering which is raised, of that which is Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. It shall be from the children of Israel for Aaron, and his sons by statute forever. For it is the heap offering. It shall be heap offering from the children of Israel, from the sacrifices of their peace offerings. It's heap offerings to the Lord. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed in them, and to be consecrated in them. The son who became priest in his place shall put them on for 7 days, when he enters the tabernacle meeting in his holy place. And you shall take the ram of the consecration, and boil its flesh in the holy place. Then Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread in his basket by the door of the tabernacle of meeting. They shall eat those things with which the atonement was made, to consecrate and sanctify them. But an outsider shall not eat them, because they are holy. And if any of the flesh of the consecration offerings or of the bread remains until morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. Thus you shall do Aaron and his sons, according to all that I command you. 7 days you shall consecrate them, and you shall offer a bull every day as a sin offering for atonement. You shall cleanse the altar when you make atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days you shall make atonement for the altar and sanctify it, and the altar shall be most holy. Whatever touches the altar must be holy. Now this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 rams of the first year, day by day continually. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, the other lamb you shall offer in the twilight. With the 1 lamb shall be 1/10 of an ephah of flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer in twilight, and you shall offer with its grain offering and the drink offering, as in the morning, for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. This shall be continual burnt offerings throughout your generations, at the door of the tabernacle meeting before the Lord. I will make Jesus to speak with you, and there I will meet with the children of Israel. The tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. So I will consecrate the tabernacle of meeting and the altar. I will also consecrate both Aaron and his sons to minister to me as priests. I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God.
Exodus chapter 30.
You shall make an altar to burn incense on. You shall make it of acacia wood. A cubit shall be its length, and a cubit its width. It shall be square, and 2 cubits shall be its height. Its horns shall be of 1 piece with it, and you shall overlay its top, its sides all around, and its horns with pure gold. And you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. 2 golden rings you shall make for it under the molding on its side. You shall place them on its 2 sides, and there will be holders for the poles with which to bear it. You shall make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. And you shall put it before the veil, that is before the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat, that is already testimony, where I will meet you with you. Aaron shall burn on his face incense every morning. When he tends the lamps, he shall burn incense on it. And when Aaron lights the lamps at twilight, he shall burn incense on it, a perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. You shall not offer strange incense on it, or a burnt offering, or a grain offering, nor shall you pour a drink offering on it. And Aaron shall make atonement upon its horns once a year with the blood of his offering. Once a year shall make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy to the Lord. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, When you take the census of the children of Israel for their number, then every man shall give a ransom for himself to the Lord. Number them, that there may be no plague among them when you number them. This is what everyone among those who are numbered shall give. Half a shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs. The half shekel shall be an offering to the Lord. Everyone equally among those who are numbered, from 20 years old shall give an offering to the Lord. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than a half shekel
when you give an offering to
to the Lord, to make atonement for yourselves. And you shall take the atonement money of the children of Israel,
and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of meeting,
that it may be a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord, to make atonement for yourselves. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, You shall also make a laver of bronze with its base also of bronze for washing. You shall put it between the tabernacle of meeting and the altar.
and you shall put water in it,
where Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet in water from it. When they go into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister, to burn an offering made by fire to the Lord,
they shall
wash with water, lest they die. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. And it shall be tested forever to them, to him and his descendants, throughout their generations. Moreover, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Also take for yourself quality spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much sweet-smelling cinnamon, 250 shekels, 250 shekels of sweet-smelling cane, 500 shekels of acacia, according to shekels of the sanctuary, and a hin of olive oil. And you shall make from this a holy anointing oil, anointing one compounded according to the art of the perfumer. It shall be a holy anointing oil. With it you shall anoint the tabernacle meeting, and the ark of the testimony, the table and its utensils, the lampstand and its utensils, and the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offering with its utensils, and the laver in its base. You shall consecrate them, that they may be most holy. Whatever touches them must be holy. And you shall anoint Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them, that they may minister to me as priests. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, This shall be a holy anointing oil to me throughout your generations. It shall not be poured on man's flesh, nor shall you make any altar like it, according to its composition. It is holy, and it shall be holy to you. Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on its outsider, shall be cut off from his people. And the Lord said to Moses, Take sweet spices,
stacte, and onycha, and
galbanum,
and
and pure frankincense with the sweet spices.
There shall be equal amounts of each.
You shall make
of
those
these an incense,
compound according to the art of the perfumer, salted, pure, and holy. And you shall beat some of it very fine, and put some of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of the meeting, where I will meet with you. It shall be most holy to you. But as for the incense which you shall make, you shall not make any for yourselves, according to its constitution. It shall be to you holy for the Lord. Whoever makes any like it to smell it, he shall be cut off from his people.
Exodus chapter 31. Then
The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I will fill him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to design artistic works, to work in gold, in silver, in bronze, in cutting jewels for setting, in carving wood, and to work in all manner of workmanship. And I, indeed, I have appointed with him Aholiab, the son of Achizbah, tribe of Dan, and I have put wisdom in the hearts of all gifted artisans, that they make all that I have commanded you: the tabernacle meeting, the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat that is on it, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, the table and its utensils, the pure gold lampstand with all its utensils, the altar of incense, the altar of the burnt offering with its own utensils, and the laver and its base, the garments of ministry, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons, the ministers priests, and the anointing oil is for incense for the holy place. According to all that I have commanded you, they shall do. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak also to the children of Israel, saying, Surely my Sabbath you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. You shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy to you. Every one who profanes it shall surely be put to death. For whoever does any work on it, the person shall be cut off from among his people. Work shall be done for 6 days, but the 7th day, that is Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Therefore, the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. And when he had made an end of speaking with him on Mount Sinai, he gave Moses 2 tablets of the testimony, tablets of stone, written with the finger of God. Exodus chapter 32. Now when the people saw that Moses did light coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron, and said to him, Come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man who brought us out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has come before him. And Aaron said to them, Break up the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke up the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to Aaron, and he received the gold from their hand. And he fashioned it with an engraving tool, and made a molded calf. They said, This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. So when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made a proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. Then they rose early the next day, offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. And the Lord said to Moses, Go, get down, for your people whom you brought out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They've turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They made themselves a molded calf, and worshipped it and sacrificed to it, and said, This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said to Moses, I have seen these people, and indeed it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may burn hot against them, and I may consume them, and I will make of you a great nation. Then Moses pleaded with the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why does your wrath burn hot against your people, whom you have brought out of the land of Egypt with great power, and with a great mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians speak and say, He brought them out to harm them, to kill them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath, and relent from his harm to your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, to whom you swore by your own self, and said to them, I will multiply your descendants as the stars of heaven, and all this land, as I have spoken to, I give to your descendants, and they shall inherit it forever. So the Lord relented from the harm which he said he would do to his people. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain, and the two tablets of the testimony were in his hand. The tablets were written on both sides, on the one side and on the other side written. Now the tablets were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God engraved on the tablets. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moses, There is a noise of war in the camp. But he said, It is not the noise of the shout of victory, nor the noise of the cry of defeat, but the sound of singing I hear. So it was, as soon as he came near the camp, and he saw the calf and the dancing. So Moses' anger became hot, and he cast the tablets out of his hands, and broke them at the foot of the mountain. Then he took the calf which they had made, and burned it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and he scattered it on the water, and made the children of Israel drink it. And Moses said to Aaron, What did these people do to you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them? So Aaron said, Do not let the anger of my Lord become hot. You know the people, that they are set on evil. For they said to me, Make us gods that shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And I said to them, Whoever has any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me, and I cast it into the fire, and this calf came out. Now when Moses saw the people were unrestrained, for Aaron had not restrained them, to their shame among their enemies. Then Moses stood in the entrance of the camp, and said, Whoever is the Lord's side, come to me. And all the sons of the Levite gathered themselves together to him. And he said to them, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, Let every man put his sword on his side, and go in and out from entrance to entrance throughout the camp. And let every man kill his brother, every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. So the sons of the Levite did according to the words of Moses, and about 3,000 men of the people fell that day. Then Moses said, Consecrate yourselves today to the Lord, that he may bestow on you a blessing this day. For every man is opposed to his son and his brother. Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses said to the people, You have committed a great sin. So now I go up to the Lord. Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin. Then Moses returned to the Lord and said, Oh, these people have committed a great sin, and have made for themselves a god of gold. Yet now, if you will forgive me their sin, but if not, pray, blot me out of your book which you have written. And the Lord said to Moses, Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him out of my book. Now therefore, go, lead the people to the place of which I have spoken to you. Behold, my angel shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit for punishment, I will visit punishment upon them for this sin. So the Lord plagued the people because of what they did with the calf which Aaron made.
Exodus chapter 33.
So that the Lord said to Moses, depart and go out from here,
You and the
my
people
people
who
from
are brought out
the
of the land
land
of
of
Egypt,
Egypt, to the land of which I swore to Abraham,
Abraham,
Isaac, and Jacob, saying, to your descendants I will give it, and I will send my angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanite, Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Go up to a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up in your midst, lest I consume you on the way, for you are a stiff-necked people. And when the people heard this bad news, they mourned, and no one put on his ornaments. For the Lord has said to Moses, say to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. I could come up into your midst in one moment and consume you. Now therefore, take off your ornaments, that I may know what to do to you. So the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by Mount Horeb. Moses took his tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of meeting. And it came to pass that every witness of the Lord went out to the tabernacle of meeting, which was outside the camp. So it was, whenever Moses went out to the tabernacle, that all the people rose, and each man stood at his tent door, and watched Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass, when Moses entered the tabernacle, that the pillar of cloud descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord talked with Moses. All the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose and worshipped, each man in his tent door. So the Lord spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. And he would return to the camp, where his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, did not depart from the tabernacle. Then Moses said to the Lord, see, you say to me, bring up these people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found grace in my sight. Now therefore, I pray, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know you, and I may find grace in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. And he said, my presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. Then he said to him, if your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here. For how then will it be known to your people and found grace in your sight, except you go with us? So we shall be separate, your people and I, from all people who are upon the face of the earth. So the Lord said to Moses, I will also do this thing that you have spoken, for you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name. And he said, please, show me your glory. Then he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you, and I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. But he said, you cannot see my face, for no man shall see me and live. And the Lord said, here is a place by me, and you shall stand on the rock. So it shall be, while my glory passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock, and will cover you with my hand while I pass by. And I will take my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen.